What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Good. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah,
Also, the set is incredible. I
yeah,
love
dude.
it. I love it.
I'm excited that you were able to come on, and
Yeah,
especially now is the perfect time for you to come on because you're running for Secretary Treasurer of Raleigh Regional Association of Realtors
I
at
am.
the moment. When's the
I
election?
am. So it starts Monday, October 3rd.
Okay,
Yeah.
Monday, October 3rd.
Yeah. So
Um,
I've been running around trying to spread the word.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is a good place to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so, I want to get into why you want to do that, why you think that's a good fit. I know
Yeah,
you were
absolutely.
part of other chair or boards or whatever with Raleigh for a while. I think YPN
I
and
have. Yeah.
what was the other one?
Yeah, so I've been on a lot, man. So YPN, I've been on RPAC committee. I'm currently on the finance committee. I got YPN up and running back at RRAR, which kind of fizzled out
Yeah.
way back when. And board of directors on the local level, board of directors on the state level. So just try and stay really involved.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to Sharon, obviously a lot, who's the president, right?
She is. Yeah.
About I should probably step up and get more involved with the Raleigh Regional Association of Realtors.
It's a time commitment, man.
It is.
It's with business and
Mm-hmm.
kids and
Yeah,
life and
yeah,
all the above.
Yeah. Because one of my goals, and I was telling Sharon, is to be I'm 25, so to be 30 under 30, the NAR 30 under 30, and I think a good way to at least get a higher chance of getting that is to be more involved with the community and the Association of Realtors.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's highlight this coffee.
Yeah.
Have you ever had it? It's called Bean Traders.
I haven't. I like the artwork on the bag though.
Yeah. No, it was a nice little. I shouldn't even say little. It was a big shop. It kind of reminded me. I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't like a typical coffee shop that's like nice wood tones and stuff. It was like it was like this bag. So it was like this bag was splattered on a wall. That's exactly what this place looked like. But it was a cool little vibe in there.
That's awesome.
But this is their Brazil blend. When you're drinking it, you should be getting notes of vanilla, chocolate, and caramel.
All right.
So at the end, we'll see if
Fair.
we get any vanilla, chocolate, or caramel. And I love all those things.
Not yet, right? Like that's great. Yeah. That sounds perfect.
But I had this back here yesterday, and we were like smelling all the different coffees, and everybody was like, "This one smells. This one's
great."
Yeah. We'll review it at the end.
Give it a whirl.
But
right.
and again, this is Bean Traders in Durham.
Right.
So we went out there the other couple days ago.
Yeah.
Picked that up. How do you usually drink coffee? Are you a coffee guy?
I am. So, I never drank coffee, never really liked it. And then all of a sudden we had kids and it was like coffee forward. And it was, so every morning now. And it's like, now it's like the first thing I have to do.
Okay.
Amanda, my wife, she can go like all day. She'll get to the end of the day and she'll be like, oh, I didn't have coffee today. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, don't talk to me before I
Dude,
before I have any coffee.
Funny.
Like I at least a couple sips, So
I'm the exact same
yeah.
way. Yeah, like I always say, if I don't have coffee by 9 a.m., I actually get a pretty bad headache. Like I started drinking coffee though, like way younger than I probably should have.
Did you? Yeah.
But my mom was always like, you drink a Coke and that's way worse for you.
Right, like
coffee,
so just have some coffee. Yeah. You're like, I can limit the sugar in that.
You're right.
Not in Coke.
Yeah, exactly. But how do you usually make it in the morning?
Just in a big drip pot.
Yeah.
It's a few scoops here. And during the winter, Amanda will drink hot coffee. During the summer, she's only cold coffee.
Okay.
So I overshoot, and then I end up dumping some out. It's funny that people always ask, like, how many cups of coffee, do you drink? And I'm like, I drink like 2 cups of coffee every morning. And Amanda will step in and be like, whoa, but like, show them how big your coffee cup is. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, it's like 2 big cups.
Okay. So you're really drinking like 4 to 6 cups.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's call it what it is, right?
And so your coffee, it bred more out of necessity than desire.
It's
because how old are your kids?
Yeah, so my kids 10 and 8.
Oh wow,
just turned 8 this past week. So
wow,
fun ages. And they keep us busy. It's like dance, 3 nights a week, and piano this night a week, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Are they 2 daughters?
2 daughters.
Okay. I have a 5-month-old daughter.
Woo.
So we're in the thick of it. I think she's starting to get her teeth.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she's drooling and she's just miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's a good sign.
I'm like,
yeah.
This please pop in because
Yeah.
I was up all night last night.
I need some sleep. Yeah. Hey, hence the coffee. Yeah, right.
Coffee. Yeah, man. So how's life like with two young girls?
It's good, man. It's good. I love it. It was I guess I never saw myself as like a girl dad.
Yeah.
But like here I am, we're princesses
Yeah.
and all that good stuff.
That's cool,
It's,
man.
yeah, it's great, man. I love it.
Do they like I have nieces that are not old. I mean, they're like one's 3 and one's like 2.
Right.
But they like to like wrestle.
Yeah.
Are your which is funny because like I want to be like I have also a nephew who's 2 and I just feel like I can be more rough with you because
Right,
you're a
yeah.
boy, like tough it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But then the little girls, I'm like, oh, it's okay, and they're like, no, harder.
Yeah, totally, man. They're definitely like that, especially my little one. My little one is like super rough and tumble, man.
She's ready to roll.
She is. Yeah, she is. It may or may not be good when she gets a little bit older, man, she's not afraid to wail on her sister every now and then.
Okay.
Too,
Yeah.
And the older one's like, I'm rule follower. Like we don't hit people.
Yeah.
And my younger one's just like, whatever. Well, yeah, we're doing it. Let's roll. Yeah, let's roll. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's exciting. How do you obviously you've been in the business since 2008, very successful business.
Thank you.
I read your newest kind of ranking.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm blanking on it, but where did you come out on that?
Yeah, so we were number 62 on the Real Trends.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was good.
So being number 62 obviously means you have to spend a lot of time in the business and you're successful with it. And so how do you do that? Maintain a what seems to be a great marriage with your wife who works with you.
Yeah.
Right? Which is crazy.
That's crazy. Right?
And then also have 2 beautiful little girls that you spend time with.
Yeah, it's a juggle.
Yeah.
It's a juggle. I mean, it was actually 11 years ago, actually yesterday, where Amanda and I were at a conference in can't remember where. I think we were at the Greenbrier actually, and she came along. It was nice resort. I had to be there for a committee, et cetera. And it was one of those things where we sat through a couple sessions, and my business was growing at the time, and it was like, all right, we're kind of at this crossroads. Like, what do we do? She was at a crossroads in her career as well, and I was like, hey, I got a really wild idea. Like, why don't you just quit your job and let's do real estate together? And that day she wrote her resignation letter from the hotel room at the Greenbrier and submitted it like the next day, or I can't remember how all the cards fell on that. Sold by Starkey was born.
Wow. So you guys started working as 2011?
It was, so it was 11. No, so it would have been 2013 or 14. I can't remember. So 11 years ago, whatever the math is on that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it is. And we love it. We've not looked back. I mean, it's been great. I mean, she compliments some of the my weaknesses, and vice versa. And working with your spouse is not for the faint of heart. But we do it really well. We complement each other really well. We work together good as a team. And but the rest of it's just it's a delicate balance. It's this business here, it's just it feels like 24/7, even if it's not 24/7, but it really turns out to be 24/7. It's I always joke around, like we go on we love to travel, and we go on vacations and trips and all this good stuff, and I was kind of making a joke of like, all right, hold on just a second. Like, we'll leave the hotel room. Just give me 5 minutes. Like, let me send this one email. Let me make this one call.
Yeah.
And we obviously try and protect that as much as we can.
Yeah. But even when you're not doing those kind of things, like you're in bed or you're watching TV, like I find myself anyway, okay, I can implement this tomorrow. Like I can make my sales pitch better here, or maybe I should market it this way. Maybe I should post this. And it's always a thought of how to improve the business. Like my wife's a nurse. And I'm trying to get her to come work with me.
Yeah. Awesome.
We're kind of like at that place where you guys were back in 2011, and like my business is growing, and she only works 1 day a week now because she's home with our baby, and so I'm like, great, you can still be home with the baby. It's just like she doesn't want to answer phones, like do that kind of stuff. So I'm like, great, I do. Yeah. I want to be the one selling. I do not want to be doing the one paperwork wise. Like I hate that. Yeah. And so you do that. And so I'm trying to get her to do that, but like what I was saying was my wife's a nurse, so but when she leaves her nursing job, like She doesn't think about it. The only thing she thinks about is I got to go back to work whenever she has to go back.
It's always a
But
constant.
it's always going.
Always right there. Yeah.
And that's probably the same for any business owner, not just realtors.
Yeah,
But
I think that's probably true. But it's
yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. That's where I'm at. I some like anything else, some days are better than others, and some days I want to pull my hair out and like, why do we do this?
Yeah.
Why this is crazy? And then I wake up the next day and something cool happens, or or you get back into it, and it all makes sense as to why you got into this business.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've told my wife on 2 occasions, I quit. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I say it at least once a week. Yeah. At least once a week.
And then and then whatever it is blows over and then it's fine. I'm like, oh, it wasn't even that bad. But I'm like, I remember like 2 specific, I'm like, Allison, if I say I want to go back to real estate, you say no, because I am done. I am not doing this.
Not doing this again. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, at least once a week, I go home and I'm like, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the end of the line for us.
That's right.
We're done. Right. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So, your campaign, Secretary of Treasury, getting it wrong. But okay, you got it. Nailed that one.
Yeah, got it.
What sparked that?
Yeah. So, oh man, that's a long kind of drawn out story, but I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version here. So many moons ago, before I went out on my own in real estate, I was on a couple of different teams, and I landed on Linda Trevor's team.
Oh wow!
Many moons ago. And I'm trying to think of the years there, but pre 2013.
Okay.
And so I was on Linda Trevor's team, and at that point in my career, which wasn't much of a career at that point, and I was at a crossroads. Like, do I want to stay in real estate? Like, how do I make this work if I do want to stay in real estate? So I ended up on Linda Trevor's team, and Linda was like, "Hey, get involved in the association. Like, I'm really involved in the association. There's great things. You meet great people. You can network. You can make those connections. And you're also, serving your industry that you love, you know? So I walked through the buildings of RRAR and, said, hey, I want to get involved here. What do I do? Mm-hmm. And at the time, Asa Fleming was the president, or was getting ready to be the president of the association. And he said, I have a great gig for you at this point. You are, you're young right now, he said, and I really want to get the Young Professionals Network back up and running. It is pretty non-existent at our local association. Mm-hmm. And so myself and another broker, her name is Ginger, took on the task of just trying to revamp that. Which we did pretty successfully, and just tried to get as many folks in that building and as many folks in that committee as we could, and kind of roll on. And that just morphed into different things at the association. Other committees, going through Leadership Academy at the local association, which, if you haven't done, it's awesome.
I've heard, and that's on my to-do list.
I was just gonna say, not to press you, but applications are going on right now.
Oh, are they?
They are, yeah. So, but anyway, did the Leadership Academy. After the Leadership Academy, was asked to be the dean of later on year. So I went. I was Leadership Academy in 2014, and was asked to be the dean in 2016. And so that was a great experience as well. Yeah. And that just kind of morphed into running for the board of directors, so on and so forth. And it's been something that has absolutely, elevated our career. Being on the board of directors, it's kind of keeping you forefront of the industry, keeping up with industry trends. Obviously all that's gone on in our industry over the last couple of years, it's great to just be involved. And it was kind of one of those moments where I've talked about going up the rung, so to speak, in leadership for, Secretary Treasurer, President-elect, president, so on and so forth. And I just felt like, the timing wasn't right a couple of years ago with having younger kids and just, all that goes into that, and still trying to run a business and all of the above. And it just seemed like this year was the right year to try and do that. Kids are older now. And it just, it seemed like the right time. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I'm excited. So, the lady that I'm running against, is great as well. So I feel like no matter how this, how the cards fall. It'll be great either way. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm doing my best to get out there and try and spread the word.
That's
So,
cool, man.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Why do you think agents should be more involved with their local?
Yeah. It's it, there's always room for improvement in this business. You know, it's one of those things where getting involved, I think, helps you realize the value of the association and the value that we bring to our, not only our clients, but our community. You know, we touch a lot out there as far as community and vendors and, you know, all of the above. And it's just, you know, this is a really rewarding business. And I feel like it's good to be involved, to give back to that community, give back to that business that has rewarded us so much in, you know, being able to be our own bosses. You know,
Yeah.
like, I never in a million years when I was younger thought that one day, like, would you run a business? Would you own a business? Would you be your own boss? Absolutely not. You know, and it's just it's given me so much that I want to give back to the industry and to the community as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, well, I'm rooting for you, voting for you, of course.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, take me back to 2008.
Yeah.
Housing crisis.
Yeah.
And Kevin Starkey says, "I want to get into it, baby."
Yeah. Young and naive at the time. No, so I started in real estate on Jim Allen's team many moons ago. Before, I didn't even know who Jim Allen was at the time. And I was his runner. So ran signs around, put lock boxes on new listings. He obviously, you know, had a decent amount of new construction back then. And I would go to these communities and I would be the only one out there, and there'd be, you know, 20 houses in a row just being built. And I would spend countless hours just walking through these houses and thinking, you know, if I was building this house, maybe I'd do this or do that. And it like, I loved walking floor plans. I loved walking through houses that were, you know, $300,000 and houses that were $1 million. And it just morphed into like, okay, you know, how can I make a career out of this? You know, I see other brokers within, you know, his team and, you know, just in the community out there seeming to do what they love, seeming to make a difference, seeming to help people. And so that's kind of how it morphed. You know, I went to real estate school. I got my real estate license. It was 2008. You know, I got that piece.
You were the only one in the class.
Yeah, right. Like everybody's like, "What are you doing? Like, this is crazy. Like I can't believe you're actually doing this." And I'm like, "Wait, what's going on around me? Like this is nuts." But yeah, so then I realized that, man, maybe this wasn't the best time to get into real estate. Like, you know, the sky's fallen, and you know, short sales came about and all that good stuff, which at that time didn't even know what a short sale was, but you know, here we are. But I feel like, you know, at this point, I kind of consider it a blessing, you know, now that I look back and I'm like, look, I feel like, you know, at least and it's all cyclical, obviously, but at this point, I'm like, look, if we made it through this and we made it through that, like, okay, like what else can come along, you know, that could hinder this. And so it was good to start in the industry when it was really, really tough to get along and really, really tough to get by and try and figure out how to navigate it. And go from there. But it's been a really good thing to learn from that into what then, you know, the market shifted into, and all the above.
Yeah.
So.
Was there a moment that you felt your real estate career really took off?
Yeah. So it was, I mean, really when Amanda joined me.
And she joined you in like what capacity? Like an agent?
No, so Amanda, so she never wants to sell a house.
Okay.
Like that's not her MO whatsoever. Yeah, she's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't want to do it. So she came on the team more like getting listings ready, you know, coming on listing appointments, and, you know, staging and social media and marketing and all the stuff that's vital to that. So I would say that was kind of the pivotal moment. And then really when we had our first daughter. It was one of those where we were having a great bang up year. It was really important for me to be at home and involved and not just be out all the time showing houses, et cetera, et cetera. And so at that point, it was like, all right, well, we can either let this business go wayside or we can figure out what to do at this point. And I mean, that's really how Sold by Starkey was born, then. And it was like, all right, well, looks like we're going to build a team. I think that's the next natural step here. To try and get some help and figure out how to, take it to the next level, so to speak.
Yeah, I would say for me anyway, I've been almost 7 years now. And my daughter was born in beginning of April 2nd. Someone forget my anniversary.
You passed.
Oh. And so let me start tracking. So I got in a little fender bender. Got hit in a car wash actually.
Really?
The other week. Yeah.
Man.
And so anyway, we get out and the cop goes and my daughter was in the car. My wife was in. I mean, it was you're going quarter of a mile per hour. So it was nothing.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's your daughter's name? And I'm like, oh, it's Amelia. What's her middle name? And I'm like, it's Brittany. And he's like, can you spell that? And I'm like, I don't know how my wife decided to spell that actually. So I have to go back. And my wife's like, you don't know how to spell your daughter's middle name? And I'm like, I've never had to.
You're like, I hadn't even really thought about it,
But anyway, so when she was born, I always thought, the last, at that point, so, 6.5 years, we did good. We were comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I never had that huge, I gotta get more. I gotta, get more, do more.
Yeah.
I've always had that drive in me, but not to the extent of when my daughter was born. And I'm like, dude, I want to build something for her now. Before it was just building something for me and my wife. And I felt like we were able to accomplish that and live a decent life.
Absolutely.
But now it's I have my daughter and I'm like, how do I build something that she can grow up into? And then when she graduates college or gets married or wherever, she's set.
Yeah.
And that's, that's the goal.
But
that was for me anyway. I mean, that's 5 months ago or almost 6 months ago. It was a huge turning point for my business. Like you were saying, this year has been by far my best year, which is funny because like you said, I wanted to be home too. And so I've been home a lot more.
Yeah.
Even now, I come here a lot, but I'm home more than I used to be. And even then I'm like, it's working.
Yeah.
I think you can do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even if it's okay, we'll put it down to 7:30 and then I whip out the computer and see the stuff.
Yeah. I can't tell you the amount of nights, even now, that, the computer comes out from, 8 to 11 or whatever, obviously it depends on what you got going on, but that's a constant, especially in the busy season for us, for sure.
Yeah. So last night I was up, got an offer in, and I flipped the house, so I was a seller too. So, I was signing the contracts and stuff, and it's 11, but it's she wakes up, and then I'm like, put the thing down, go, rock her back to sleep, okay, and then go back down, and then she wakes up, just go to sleep so I can please just finish this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty of the business there, man.
Yeah,
it is. You want to work from midnight to 6 a.m., have at it.
Yeah. And same thing, vacations, for the most part, you can go, obviously you have a responsibility to your clients and closings and all that stuff.
Right.
But you can go whenever.
Yeah.
You might work on those vacations. That's what I tell my wife. You're allotted 2 weeks.
Right.
That's it. I'm allotted whenever I want. I might have to go down to the, if we're on a cruise, might have to go to the room or whatever.
Yeah.
And type up some emails, get on a Zoom, whatever.
Right.
But we can go whenever. And I would rather that freedom than okay, you have 2 weeks, use them wisely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was part of the reason why I got into real estate. I mean,
What'd you do before?
I pretty much got in right out of college.
Where'd you go to college?
So I went to East Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Go Pirates.
Yeah, I'm a pirate, right? Yeah. My wife was too, which we didn't meet till after, but it was one of the reasons why, aside from walking through the new construction, like I had mentioned earlier, and really, falling in love with houses and floor plans and, all that good stuff. I did not want to sit at a desk from 9 to 5 every day. Even to this day, obviously you do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But having someone say, hey, you've got to be here, by by 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and you get to leave for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're lucky,
Yeah.
to lunch, and then you're back here, and at 5 o'clock you can, punch your ticket and go home,
Right.
so to speak. And it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It's to each their own. And I
Yeah.
know there's folks out there that love it because, like you said, 5 o'clock, you forget about it till the next day.
Right.
And I don't, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to not have to sit at a desk all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. What do you think Sold by Starkey, like, why do you think you guys have been so successful?
Authenticity.
Mm.
I think there are a lot of personalities in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of and like I said, to each their own, but I think being true to ourselves, being authentic, being what I like to think of as just good humans and good people,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that goes an extremely long way.
Oh yeah.
An extremely long way. So I would say that's main factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So your team that you have now, what is your team dynamics?
Yeah, what's it look like? So it's Amanda and I as principals. We have
She is licensed.
She is licensed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She
Cool.
got licensed right out of the gate.
Okay.
With the caveat that, like I said, like she doesn't want to sell houses. You'll never find her name on a contract.
Yeah.
She likes to do the other stuff. Etc. So it's Amanda and I. Currently we have 2 agents, Brad and Shannon.
Okay.
As
Yeah,
well
I met
on our
Brad.
team.
Cool guy.
Yeah, Brad's great.
Yeah.
Ex Navy.
Yeah.
And got into real estate. Shannon's great too. Native of Apex. Lives in downtown Apex. So if you're driving down Salem Street, the big white house that's like the iconic house, that's right there. That's her house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Super cool old historic home.
Yeah.
All things Apex, etc. And then we have a virtual assistant who lives in Kentucky.
Okay. How's that been?
It's great. So we actually knew her from a previous brokerage that we were at.
Okay.
And she was there. So she's a real person. We do know her.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, you hear these like VA things, and you're like, I don't know, some guy from Taiwan that I've never met.
Right.
Like, is he gonna do the job right?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
cool.
Yeah. So Autumn is our assistant, and she's great as well.
Yeah.
The team has kind of morphed a little bit over the years and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But that's currently where we sit right now.
And I saw, and I could be wrong, so you can.
Yeah.
You guys are looking to.
We are.
Okay. So, and what do you look for in an ideal agent?
Yeah. Authenticity again.
Yeah.
I think, kind of comes down to really what we're looking for, somebody that's gonna, uphold the Sold by Starkey and Compass name and do the right thing, and, be ethical and, a team player and a hard worker and, all the things that make you a great agent as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's for us on the team, culture is a big thing. I know everybody talks about it.
Right. What does culture look like?
Yeah. So for us, it is doing the right thing, being a good person, helping teammates out. It's one of those things. Like I said, Amanda and I love to travel, and we want everybody else on the team to be able to travel as well. So it's if you're traveling or you have a parent or a family member that gets sick, we want to have the systems in place that, like, I don't want to have to bug you. I want to be able to go right into your file, know where you are, know who your clients are, and just kind of pick it up so that you can just check out and be on vacation or handle family matters or, something along those lines.
And how do you guys do all that? Do you guys do like weekly meetings?
So our meetings are usually every other week or so. We try and coincide it with Compass meetings because everybody's already over the office. It kind of makes sense. We collaborate a lot. What's working, what's not working, what does the market look like? Just trying to stay, top of mind with our clients, obviously, and and what's going on in the industry. You know,
Yeah.
it moves so fast these days
Mm.
that it just, you know, the market's probably shifted since we've been sitting here at this
Yeah,
table.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Or so it seems.
Yeah.
And so it's just having that team mentality and collaboration and just really, really liking the people that you work with. Like it just it goes a long way, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Because, I mean, if you have, especially as far as the collaboration things, like Brad might see something online that you didn't see, or Amanda didn't see, or what was the other?
Absolutely, Shannon.
Shannon, you know, like, and so he's like, hey, did you guys see this? No, okay, well,
Yeah.
how does that apply to us? And,
Yeah.
you know, you guys can kind of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
And it's really cool to get, you know, 4 or 5 different people's thoughts all together on like, hey, we're planning a client event. Okay, well, here's what I know that usually works, and here's what people like. And then Shannon chimes in, and Amanda chimes in, and Brad chimes in, and it kind of just morphs into this great, you know, like mastermind of ideas,
Yeah,
thoughts, and
yeah.
processes, and it's just it's cool to watch.
Yeah, that's cool as the principle that you allow, and I think it's vital to a successful team is that, yeah, I want your ideas. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, like, yeah, I've been in it since 2008, but like you have a fresh perspective that I don't.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
that's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Where do you see your team kind of growing? Are you looking more? Are you looking at like numbers, like agents? Are you looking at volumes? Are you like, how do you setting your goals, and where do you want it to take it?
Yeah. So, you know, I think for us, it is really finding the right people, the right people to be on the team, whether that is somebody that sells, you know, a small amount of homes or a massive amount of homes. You know, for us, like I said, it's all about the culture. So it's really like finding the right people, and if you find the right people, I feel like the numbers, the volume, like it all just kind of falls into place, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something Amanda and I talk about a lot. Okay, you know, like you said, what does this look like? And I think we kind of have ideas out there of, you know, and it kind of morphs too, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, okay, so I'm 42. Like, what does this look like when I'm 65? What does this look like when I'm 70? When, like, I don't know that I want to be out showing houses then. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's trying to find the right pieces of the puzzle to just kind of get to that end game at some point, whatever that looks like. I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Before I came to Compass, I was independent, and my goal was to have like the biggest brokerage.
Yeah.
So it was like low splits, and I just wanted people, bodies.
Yeah.
And then I come here and I'm talking to other principals, and they're telling me why they want a small number of people, but really good people.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
I mean, there's a lot to be said for that, right? Like,
yes. Yeah.
It's, you know, and I think it's, to your point, you know, just having bodies in the room, that just, to me, becomes somewhat impersonal. You know, you look at the massive brokerages with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's you know, I want to try and know everybody in the room. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, that's right, you're an agent here. You know what I mean?
Because you work for. What's your name again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Remind me of your name again. So I think for us, you know, that's kind of the goal, is like, you know, people that like I said, are just willing to work hard, but not, you know, a team of 500.
Right.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Like Liz always says, like, that she wants to be small and mighty. And I think that's
great.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, for me, this year was really just, I joined Compass, so that was like, let me get used to that, and then especially going from like an independent.
Totally, like that's a big learning curve, right?
It's a big learning curve. It's been nice. Being a broker in charge absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah,
especially like with new agents. And then just the systems here and stuff. It's like, I'm trying to, like, there's just no way as an independent brokerage I can compete financially and buy the systems that a company like Compass has. Absolutely. And so it was just like, well, it's actually more cost effective and cheaper for me to join Compass with splits or whatever.
Absolutely.
Dude. And then even even if my splits were crazy high, like, which they're not, but the culture here, the office here, like I get to set up my studio here, and,
Yeah, right.
you know,
Like you can't do that everywhere.
you can, right.
Yeah. People would be
and
like, no, you gotta take that elsewhere. You know?
and everybody here has just been so cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've loved it, but it's been a little bit different, because it's been so like me focused.
Yeah.
And so everything is like lines realty. Right. Now it's like, obviously Compass does a good job of like, yes, you are still lines realty. Like, we're not taking that away from you, but you're now powered by something greater, which is Compass.
Yeah.
And so,
absolutely.
so making that adjustment, it has been a little bit, but it has not been as bad as I thought.
Right.
I also had this weird like pride thing about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if I join a bigger brokerage, I failed.
Yeah, right.
And
Not
dude,
at all. Yeah.
not at all. And
Not at
actually the opposite. My business has gone up, you know?
Absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely. Well, you kind of, at least for me, you start to look at the people in the room, like who's in the room. And there's some massive brokers. I mean, huge teams, small but mighty teams, you know, kind of all of the in between.
Yeah.
And like for us, that was really all right, maybe we should look at Compass. Like maybe there's something there that we don't know about. And it's kind of same thing. You know, we were with a couple other brokerages, and Linda Trevor was actually the reason we're at Compass. She called me up one day and said, "Hey, let me talk to you for 5 minutes about this." And you know, the rest was history. But for us, it was, like I said, it was really like, okay, like some of these other brokers and brokers who had been with brokerages for a really long time that were coming over to Compass, and it was like, all right, I feel like there's got to be something there.
Yeah,
like they're not just doing it for whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it, and we've been super happy. And not look back.
Do you know Morgan Womble?
Yes. Sort of. Like recognize the name, you know, etc.
Okay, so I was on his team 5 years ago at Keller.
Oh, were you really?
And then so he's the one that actually brought me in.
There you go.
So
he
called me and was like, "Dude, you gotta
check it out."
Yeah. And so and I was like, "Dude, I'm not trying to come this, but whatever. Out of respect for you, I'll talk to him."
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to him. I'm like,
"Huh?
All right, I'll sign."
Yeah. I get it. I mean, I love all their principles. Obviously, the tools and the tech is you know, blows everything else out of the water. And it's just been a great move. Before we came here, Amanda and I were waiting for something to come along that was innovative and cutting edge and kept, at least in our perspectives, kept up with the times.
Right.
You know, tried and true is great, and you know, all that. But Compass has been it's been great.
Yeah. And for me personally, I'm a brick and mortar guy, so like to have an office I can come into, like the whole virtual world thing was it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. I get it.
Not that, you know, I think it's a great model for certain people.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't want to knock on any brokerages and their models.
Totally.
For me personally,
to each their own.
Right.
That if whatever works for you, that's great. And there's a place for, you know, there's a place for it all.
Yep. I think. But it was just like, for me, like if I can go into an office, and I heard a quote, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And so when I walked in here and I'm like, I'm officially the dumbest person in the room, so this is exactly where I need to be.
This is where I need to be. I get it.
Because it's so funny, man. Like I always said, you know, so I live in Harnett County. Almost like 80% of my sales are Harnett County, and I'm always like, dude, I'm like a big fish here, man. Like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I come to this office, and I'm like, wow, I'm a tadpole in an ocean right now. Like,
which is kind of daunting at the same time, but it's also great because it's I learn something new every day from just hearing stuff around the office or talking to some of the other brokers who do way more business than we do. And it's one thing I've loved about Compass is, you know, collaborate without ego, right? It's one of the principles, 100%. And it's, nobody is afraid to share their success or how they got successful or how they navigate the market, where I feel like, you know, other places I've been, it's like, well, if I tell you how I get all my clients, like you're going to go steal all my clients. Right. And it's like, what? Yeah. That doesn't even make sense. But it's out there, you know? And I just love how you know, collaborative everybody is here. Like
when I came from a different brokerage, it, you know, their whole thing was like, collaboration's huge. And so when it was not like, and me as I got my license when I was 18, an 18-year-old walking into some big wig's office, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, are you going to join my team? No.
Right.
Okay, then
Yeah.
you're out.
You're out. Yeah.
And so, but then I came here and, they're like, oh, like like collaboration without egos collaboration without egos, huge here. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Everybody kind of says that. But then you get here and it's like, dude,
it's legit.
Everybody,
right?
like I've not met an agent who has been like, dude, back off.
I don't have time for you.
I don't have time for you, which is like so cool. You know, like obviously like I'm still young in my career. And like part of the reason I do this podcast is so I can sit down with people like you or Davis or Liz or Steve Gunter, or like whoever. And I can literally like pick your brain,
totally
record it, and then have everybody else listen to the
super cool, man. Super cool. Also, like, hats off and kudos to you, man, for getting your license at 18. Like, I wish I would have done that in retrospect. What made you do that?
Great question.
Let me flip the script a little bit.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
So I hated school. So college, from the get-go was out for me. I wasn't going to do it. I remember going to my counselor's office freshman year of high school. What's the bare minimum I need to get out of high school? Yeah. And I'm not going to college. So and she was like, oh, great, you don't need to take this math. You don't need to do this. And I'm like, great. Yeah. And she was super, like, that was nice because she was really like, great. Like, well, what's your plan? Yeah. But like, you're not going to college? Right. Are you crazy? Yeah. And I remember telling people, oh yeah, I'm not going to college. And like, oh, yeah, it's okay. You'll be all right. Yeah. I'm like, I will. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. So I was able to graduate early because I didn't have to take extra classes and stuff. But the summer I graduated, I worked a construction job, loved it, thought I was going to be a builder. Yeah. And then graduated and then went back to that company, worked for them full time. Yeah. They were a land development company. Okay. So they developed the land and then they built probably about, at the time, 25 to 50% of the houses in the developments that they developed. And, just working it. It was a very isolating job. Yeah. Like, it's very like, if you were a social guy, construction's probably not the thing for you. And so I learned that relatively quick, like, 9 months, a year, something like that. Yeah. And I said, well, I think I would enjoy selling them more than I would building them, because part of my job too was, when you buy a new construction house, you do the final walkthrough with the builder. Well, I was the representative of the builder. And so I got to always interact with all these different realtors and their clients, and like the excitement on their faces, like, or the anger.
It goes both ways sometimes.
The blue tape everywhere.
Right.
And so I was like, I think I want to go get my license. And, I quit that job, got my license, and it's been history. It's been history since. Yeah. And since then, like, I started, I think I did a year or two individual, like on my own, thinking like, I don't need no team. Yeah. And then, they're going to take all my money, but, I'm making money. So there's no money to take. I get it. And then I eventually came to my senses. And I do recommend, like, you're a new agent and you can join a team, like, do it.
Absolutely.
Like everything I've learned, and I've said this on here before, was from joining Morgan's team. Yeah. The first 2 years, if I would have started at 18 on a team, like, who knows where I would have been today.
Same, man. I attribute being on Linda Trevor's team to the reason that I'm still sitting here to this day. Yeah. Like, it is, you learn so much from it. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, like, you get out of real estate school, you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you go through that first transaction and you're like, but that wasn't anything what I learned in real estate school. Like this, like
I didn't manually do the closing disclosure.
Right. Exactly. Like that was nothing what I thought this was when I actually got into it and started doing it, you know? But yeah, that's cool. But agreed. Like, joining a team was the best thing for my business at that point. Just to learn from somebody who's doing it.
Yeah, who's doing it.
Learn the ins and outs of the industry. And it's great.
And I was in a great position for the first half of living with them, I was still with my parents, and then ended up getting roommates. So, like, my rent was next to nothing. And so, like, money was so, like, I was like, I don't really care about the splits or anything. Like, I loved Morgan. Yeah. He was a super down to earth guy. And I was like, that's how I want to be. And so just to be under his wing and learn from him and just how he sells and how he talks to people. And he is so, like, the biggest thing I learned from him that I still do today is he would be like, hey, Ethan, call this person. I'll be like, okay, I'll get to it.
Right.
and he was always like, no, like right now,
Like do it.
like,
Yeah.
do it. And that's
right
exactly how
now.
like he does. That's how he lives his life. Like
Yeah.
it's never like, oh, it's an idea.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna let me sit on this for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's just like a man of action, so he's
Yeah.
just like, boom, I'm gonna go
On
through it.
and
It's that
go,
Marine in him or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. And so like that's kind of something I took. Like I said, I think I want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, then let me go
just
buy all the
do it.
stuff and start inviting people onto the
That's
show.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
And not everybody's that way.
Yeah,
Like,
and I wasn't.
I can't say this. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, all right, yeah, that's a great idea.
Right.
And, you know, months later, it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah, let it
yeah,
fizzle.
yeah.
Yeah, and I, you know, as realtors, I think we're entrepreneurs first, and then realtors second. I believe that.
Yeah.
And so with being an entrepreneur, you automatically just come with up all these ideas all the
Right.
time. It's just natural. It's just what's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
And I tell my wife all these ideas, and she's like,
Here
Here
goes another one.
Like, how about you just do one, or you're already doing so many things. Just stick to what you're doing and do them really well. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like I probably should do this.
Yeah.
Let me pump the brakes. I don't need to own a coffee shop, or I don't need to do things like.
Yeah.
You know, we do a few things and just do them really well, without being spread too thin. But do you do anything other than real estate? Like, do you do any kind of investing or anything like that?
No, not so much. You know, we've talked about, you know, rental properties and long-term, you know, building wealth through rental properties and all that good stuff. Staying involved with the association and kids these days,
Yeah.
it eats it up, man.
Yeah.
There's not enough hours in the day at this point,
Right.
to try and tack on something else.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. Yeah, because sometimes it could just be too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well, I hear these nightmare stories too, like even, you know, the Airbnbs or the long-term rentals and just the horrific stories that you hear,
Yeah.
the calls in the middle of the night of, you know, I even have a property manager, but the tenant called me or the property manager called me because, you know, the AC went out or the heat went out last night. And it just, you know, so.
yeah. So you're thinking maybe like a down the road kind of thing?
Yeah,
maybe?
yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's
And just so you know, like I don't have any problem.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I just want to pick your brain about it.
At least for me, like I think, you know, being in the business and knowing a good investment and helping our clients day in and
Right.
day out with good investments, like I feel like that's a wasted talent not to do it for yourself.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
So
yeah.
so at some point that is the goal.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. No, we tried to buy a rental house last year, and I was talking to Ryan about this. I think it was Ryan. Yeah, on another podcast. But I was saying, we go to buy it. We don't really have any debts. Like our house is seller financed to us, so like it's not reported though to the bureau. But like we had a great rate with them and all this stuff, so it worked out.
Makes
wonderful.
sense. Yeah.
No car payments, all this stuff. So no debt, and I have at the time I had one $500 limit credit card.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's
Because
it. Yeah.
you know, growing up, it was like, no, like do not like whatever you do, don't go into debt. If you do, pay it right back.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know. And so I was like, cash. Well, I go to buy my first rental property, and the guy goes, like the lender I was using said, "Dude, you don't have any lines of credit. Like you can't.
We can't do this.
Even with 20% down. Like you still can't buy it." And I was just like, I was mind blown. I was like, wait,
what?
I gotta go into debt to be more into debt, so that my debt looks better for my other debt.
This debt, yeah, exactly.
And you know, to some extent, I get it. Like they want to make sure you can make a payment, blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, that being said,
You're like, I'm good for it.
yeah, I'm good.
Good for it, right?
I swear, cross my heart, brother. But he said, I don't care. But then since then, he was like, dude, get like a car payment, and like we've never had a car payment. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, but I don't really want that.
I don't want
like, that. Isn't
well, I don't want. So anyway, like, you know, like I think we got like a little $8,000 car payment.
Yeah.
He was like, take 8 months and pay it off.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
I know,
And then
yeah.
I think we got a little credit card. So
Yeah.
I think now, that was last year, I think we should be okay now.
Yeah.
But so we might start looking back into it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, gosh, now we got the baby and all this stuff.
Right. Like it's just it's a lot.
It's a
right?
lot. I got the
It's-
podcast.
yeah,
It's just like,
it's a whole nother layer of
Mhm.
responsibility, so to
Yep.
speak.
Yeah.
And, so,
and if there was like this excellent deal that was
Right.
like, dude, there's just no way we're not, then, you know, maybe. But at the time, it was all I was doing was buying, selling, and me and my wife were just hanging out. So I was like, yeah, we can take on.
Let's do this.
We can paint it ourselves. We can, do the floors ourselves, that kind of stuff. And now it's like, we don't have time to take a whole weekend over there every weekend for 3 weeks to paint it. And
that's awesome too that you and your wife can do that. Like Amanda and I, no. Yeah, house projects, no, man. It's no, we don't. We run the business well together, but flooring and painting and no, we're out on that.
Okay,
we're out on that. Well, we know our limits, right?
Yeah, yes, and you should.
We want to stay married. Yeah. Like that's the goal. In all of this, like that's the goal.
Yeah,
like, we want to stay married.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, but I flipped. I mean, I still flip. But the first like 3 houses I flipped, I did everything myself. Yeah. But I work construction, for that whole year. So not that I was like an expert.
Yeah, I get it.
But even like when early on in my real estate career, I took a lot of like, worked for a couple of different like remodelers and did like those side jobs and stuff just to make some extra scratch. But I always say like I feel like a blue collar guy in like a white collar job. Because like even like, but it does help me and my clients because I feel like I can walk around with the buyer and absolutely know what the repair should cost and what the repair is, and crawl through the crawl space and not be like,
it's a huge part of it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's beneath me. Like, I'm like, I promised for me. Yeah, there's nothing beneath me.
Yeah, like, I get it.
I'll get down there, man. I don't care.
I've crawled through a lot of crawl spaces.
Yeah, and that's part of like when you. I think too, when a lot of newer agents look at agents on social media, man, it's so flashy. Yeah. And it's just not that way.
It's just not that way.
Like at all.
Just because you sell real estate does not mean you're a millionaire.
Right. Yeah, like I'm ready to go to the parade of homes and I'm going to take pictures and videos. That doesn't mean that's my life.
Right.
I'm not drinking champagne in a $5 million house. It's just not.
You don't go home to that every day?
No, I don't. I'm crawling through $200,000 house crawl spaces.
Absolutely.
And telling them if the insulation's falling down in the back.
Right.
It's just stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I still think that even the non-sexy part of the business is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
totally.
it's awesome.
Yeah. In retrospect, I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I love this business.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Helping people achieve their financial goals, and watching their kids' faces light up like when they walk through their new house, and and there's some sad stories too, man. And it's good being a trusted, reliable source for somebody to figure out what their next step is.
Yeah.
And just kind of help them through that process.
Yeah. In an alternate universe, what would you be doing if you weren't doing real estate?
Oh man. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, I don't even know. Like, I've done it for so long now that it's like I can't even think about that. I mean, I think as a kid, like I wanted to be an NFL player, or something along those lines. And then
dude, go be an NFL player.
Yeah, like my 5'6" self is not gonna be an O lineman. Like I just I played football in 8th grade and realized that like I'm not gonna play in the NFL. Yeah, that's a tough question, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me think on that.
Yeah.
Have me back and I'll.
Okay. We'll dissect it a little bit.
I'll think on that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I know most people are like, if I wasn't this, I'd be a doctor. Or I'd be a, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. Like school was never my thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like school,
Yeah.
The thought of, we've had a bunch of friends that like went back to get their masters and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's great. Like, that's awesome that you want to do that. But like the thought of like going to a class tonight.
No, sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
But
right?
my wife is that way. Like,
yeah,
she went to UNC for undergrad and Duke for a graduate and loves it. Like she just loved school.
I've got a good buddy of mine whose dad, like still signs up for classes, over at Duke actually. And, he just goes, he just takes a class like randomly just to like do it. And I'm like, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Like but
I do everything I can to avoid that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I have to pick up a book, it's like, oh my God.
Like even continuing education, this business where I'm just like, man, and like finding the right instructor and all that, like it makes a world of difference. But it's like I dread those days where I'm like, all right, this is not, college or high school or like whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the thought of like having to sit through class here for the next 4 hours, man, it's like, no, I don't want to do it.
Dude, I know.
So,
No, I'm the exact same way.
yeah.
If you were to give advice, one piece of advice to a new agent coming into the business, what would it be?
Work your sphere of influence. Like the people that know, like, and trust you already are there for you. Like they want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're rooting for you. And it's trying to keep top of mind with those people because everybody knows a realtor. Everybody knows 5 realtors, right? Like
I saw a stat. I don't know how accurate it is, but that every person is in, was it like 6 or 7 CRMs?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, you know? So yeah, I mean, I think it's really that, like, love on the people that love you already. And like, the rest just kind of follows.
Yeah.
Be authentic, be who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like that goes a long way.
Right.
You know, it's, I was talking about this with someone the other day, but like, people know when you're blowing smoke. Right. You know what I mean? Like you see it day in and day out, and you can tell with whatever you're doing. You know, you
go buy a car, dude.
Yeah,
and you're like,
and it's
all right, bro. You got to chill.
Right, like it's too much.
It's too much.
Like I love going in and you know going and buying cars.
Yeah.
And I start out by like, hey, I'm in sales too. Like
right.
I 100% get this. Yeah. Like I understand it. I get it. Whatever. So we're both in sales. Like I get it. Okay. But it's, you know, you can tell when people are blowing smoke, man. So just being your authentic self and true to who you are is gonna get you way further in this business than trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I love that, man. Yeah. So I was going to buy a car and recently, and I was test driving a couple, and the salesman is new. It's just started 2 weeks ago. He's still in college.
Right.
So we're driving around. I'm talking about life and stuff and just getting to know him. And he's a super nice guy. He's doing great for being 2 weeks in. And then he hits me with, so do you want to buy it? I'm like, I don't know. I hit him with the, you know, classic, I got to talk to my wife. Yeah. Because I didn't really want to buy it. And
you're like, but I don't want to tell this guy no.
I ended up actually buying that exact car, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, man. This was just a funny story. I gotta talk to my wife. He's like, oh, okay. So who makes more money, you or your wife? And I was like, I guess like I do, you know, whatever. And he's like, so what do you have to talk to your wife about? I was like, all right, buddy. Let me give you a little piece of sales advice. Okay.
Yeah.
Although I think it's hilarious. Don't ever say that to anybody else. Like me and my wife are a team. Yada. Like,
totally. Like,
and
I'm not just coming home with a new car and not having big discussions of
And so he's like, oh, my bad, dude. I didn't mean to like offend you. I go, I'm like, I'm not offended. I kind of think it's funny, but like, I'm in the future.
Yeah.
Don't say that to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, totally. Like we're a team, man. Like we make decisions together and stuff like this, you know. So
yeah, man. So what do you think of the coffee?
I thought the coffee was absolutely delicious.
Dude, I thought it was good too.
Yeah.
I was like surprisingly really good.
Surprisingly, like really, really good.
Yeah.
Like absolutely good. You know, I have a hard time trying to pick out the hints and the notes.
Me too, dude. I think a lot of it's just kind of like
all this other stuff. It's like wine, you know, when you're drinking wine and people are like, oh, or on the bottle, it'll be like, you know, hints of tobacco and chocolate and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it tastes like red wine to me, you know? But yeah, I thought it was delicious. Like if I saw that at a grocery store, I was out to get good coffee, like that would be top of the list. Like that's delicious.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best cup of coffee you ever had, 1 being trash.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, you're talking to somebody who like, I'm not gonna say like buys the bag of coffee that's on sale.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I and I hate to even say this, but like, I roll towards the you know the bag of Starbucks,
right,
or something like that.
Sure.
It's
most people.
It's a trusted like. Okay, I know this is gonna be a decent cup of coffee, you know, etc. But yeah, that's really good. That's a
great score.
Really
that's
smooth.
awesome.
I mean,
I would put it up there with. I mean, I would put it close to you. I would say like an 8.6.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
There you go.
I thought it was super good. And as I do these podcasts, I'm trying to figure out my palate, what I like and what I don't. And so my scale kind of always, not always, but is moving because I like more of like a robust flavor that this had.
Yeah.
I used to like more of a like medium light roast, kind of like a little like just lighter. But now I like it more like
You
little more like
to be
gusto
beat
to it.
coffee.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I do think it was really good.
I
And
thought it was great.
And I think if you are in Durham, and I apologize, I don't remember the road it's on. It's near the Sprouts, if that helps.
Yeah, fair.
This is Bean Traders. And the people in there were super friendly. They had a little bakery there too.
Nice.
And so they had some good snacks that looked good.
Yeah.
I didn't buy any because I was like,
I like a good coffee shop too.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's,
And it was pretty packed. Like
yeah.
a lot of people doing work and hanging out, meeting people.
Well, it's always nice to support local too, right? Like as I say that I buy the Starbucks coffee, you know, but it's people like this in our community, man, that make it a great place to live.
Yeah.
Like they're small business owners just like you and I.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
100%.
that's cool that you kind of roam around and find local coffee.
And it's been fun too, like especially like I know we were talking a little bit before we started, but being able to go into some of these roasters and like have conversations with the owner or whatever, and just like get to know them and stuff. I think is honestly like I look forward to it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you walk into like a coffee shop, it's a little different. It's crowded. You're not going to talk to the barista or whatever that's sitting there necessarily, but still getting to highlight them, and hopefully from this show people are wanting to try some of these coffees and supporting them as well. So that's what we're here. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Well,
Love it.
man, this was great having you on. Good luck to you. It's October 3rd starts.
October 3rd, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yeah, agents will get an email from RRAR with how to vote and all that good stuff. So
Sweet.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
October 3rd, I'll be putting Kevin Starkey for sure. So I'm excited to see you up there, man.
We appreciate the support. Absolutely.
Well, thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you for having me, man. This is awesome. Like I want to come do this again. This was
I'd love to have.
Yeah,
I'd love to, especially when you win. Yeah, we'll come back and we'll have a little celebratory coffee.
I like the positivity on it, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.